Vanbach.
Hello.
We are the Bushwick Bears.
Hi, guys. How's it going? Doing it. Fucking Lot 45. Beautiful Bushwick, Brooklyn, New York, USA. I love it.
Freezing cold Tuesday night.
I'm happy to be alive.
This is the kind of Tuesday where babies get made. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever heard that statistic where more babies are made on cold days than...
Dude, I grew up in the desert. I don't know shit about the cold.
That's true. I remember the first time it snowed when we moved here. When Jericho and I moved here, we lived together. And the first time it snowed, Jericho walked outside and was like, "Fuck this! What is happening?"
Well, it was stupid. I don't know why you guys live here, man. This is bullshit. Fucking snow ass motherfuckers. No, I remember that day because I was supposed to go to work and the stoop, there's like 3 steps. And it was just snow. There was no steps anymore.
It was flat. It was a lot of snow. The first snow was pretty heavy. That was a few years ago. Nice. Killing it up front. It's a nice cardigan. I like that.
Looking good. Everyone feeling good. I'm glad that you guys aren't making a baby right now. Is that what Graham said?
You can. Has anyone else watched Training Day since it came out on Netflix?
Training Day, the Denzel Washington
2001
movie?
Denzel Washington. Ethan Hawke. Most people would go with Ethan Hawke.
No, I never saw it.
I was watching it. Came out on Netflix recently.
Okay, I'm sure there's a point to this, so
yeah.
I'm just gonna follow you.
And do you remember that scene? I had forgotten about this scene where they're riding in the car and he makes them smoke it in the middle. Like they stop in the middle of traffic. He holds a gun to Ethan Hawke's head. And he says, "You smoke that shit." And then about 10 minutes later, he goes, "I didn't know you like to get wet." That's PCP.
I remember the Dave Chappelle, Wayne Brady thing that they did.
Way funnier. That was way funnier.
That was funnier?
Well, because who would expect Wayne Brady
So
to
you're
smoke
saying
it?
I shouldn't watch Training Day?
No, you should totally watch Training Day. It's worth it. But here's what I realized is that...
God, how cool would it be to smoke meth with Denzel Washington? Like, real talk, I don't know. I know there's some people that have issues. PCP, yeah, okay. Even better.
While he's holding the gun to your head.
Yeah, even better. PCP makes you fight cops, man.
He was a cop in that movie.
I mean, I get the concept of the movie. I'm talking about reality.
Oh, look at that. Awful.
I'm talking about reality.
You getting that stain in your camera? All right. Jericho and I went to Montana's earlier. God, the ass on that bartender. I can't stop. Holy shit. Is she here? Elise, did you make it? Elise, will you marry me? All right. That scene happens, right? And I realized that one of the only other times I smoked weed before this past year when I jumped into the weed pool heavy.
Yeah, Graham started smoking weed at age 29.
At age 29. Thank you.
Graham started using children drugs at age 29.
I feel
weed.
grown up.
I don't know why you guys are so obsessed with weed. That's fucking for babies.
It's great, yeah, but you can sleep, right? Oh my God, I don't have to think about how my mom hates me.
I started smoking weed really hard at like 8th grade. I smoked weed like crazy that 8th grade, but by 14 I was like, this is boring. I'm gonna do some coke.
See, I never got. Anyway, one of the few times I had smoked weed, I always smoked weed with the basketball team of the school that I showed up to, because I went to 4 different high schools in 3 different states. So I was always trying to fit in. And one of the things you could do to fit in with basketball players, we'll call them, is to smoke weed.
My only friends in high school when I first started were the black girls I smoked weed with underneath the bleachers.
Do you mean basketball players?
Nah. They just smoked weed, man.
All right. So I was smoking. I went out. These 2, Brandon and Brandon, wanted to smoke weed,
okay.
and they were going to spend the night. Brandon B and Brandon Butts. So we call one B and one Butts. I don't know. And they were riding around Ford Contour, 98. Not trying to brag. And then we pull up to this house where he goes, "Flash your lights. A guy will come out." So I flash my lights. A guy comes out, And then he goes, give me $20. And I was like, why do I have to pay for the weed? Like, I'm driving. All right. So I give him the $20.
You're making friends.
Yeah, I'm making friends. He gets back in the car, and he goes, yo, I got that fire. And I was like, awesome, great. Let's all be friends. And so then he rolls up a joint. They start passing it around. I smoke it a little. And then they keep hitting. We smoking, right? And then about 5 to 10 minutes later, all the lights start melting all around us. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And B is like, yo, that's that fire. And I was like, yeah, I get it. Is this what high is? Why is everything melting? And he was like, nah, that fire means it's got PCP in it.
Oh, damn.
I got training dayed, and I didn't realize it until this week when I watched Training Day.
That was the first time you smoked weed?
Yeah.
With PCP? Is
Yeah.
that Sherm? No, Sherm's formaldehyde when they dip it in formaldehyde. That's different. You guys ever smoked Sherm?
That story didn't go well.
I'm glad at least one person back there like, yeah, shit's crazy. That Sherman Hemsley, god damn.
I've never smoked that.
Nah, PCP, I got in a fight with this dude that had to have been on PCP. He was either on PCP or he was a goddamn vampire. Cause I was coming out of a bar and down the street, I see like a medium built, like construction worker built kind of guy, not like gym built.
Stocky.
You guys know the difference, right? The gym dudes are puffy, but anybody can pop that shit. This guy he looked strong like he was a construction worker, right? But he was about this tall. And I look down the street, and I see him just drop this dude I know. One punch KO. Dude went down. And so I go running up, I got like a whole gang of dudes with me, and we run up. And I'm not lying, guys. I'm a big dude. I have a very punchable face. I've been in a couple fights. I grew up in Arizona. This is what they do.
Just punch faces.
This dude, I got it clean. I step into it, and I know how to hit. I use my shoulders and my hips. And I fucking hit this dude with everything I got. Clean like a Superman punch. Clean, too. Right in the fucking triangle. Motherfucker doesn't flinch. He didn't flinch. And I don't have a second move. I got one move.
That's it. You just yell Falyukin.
When
that
it comes
punch.
to fights, I got one move. And then my one move didn't fucking work. So I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know what to do. And so I know I got a bunch of dudes coming up behind me, so I go to try to, like, wrestle with the dude. And I'm fucking 6 inches taller than him. I got easily 100 pounds on him. I go to wrestle him, shoos me off like I'm nothing. Like I'm a fucking fly. Just shoots me off. I go flying. And I see this dude take punches from some of the most heavy-handed motherfuckers I've ever known in my life. Dude's just fucking unloading on this guy, and he's fighting back. He drops 2 more dudes. Bam, bam. Dude's just falling. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I don't know what to do. And then at this point, it's like a full-blown riot. Like, I end up fighting somebody else, and then they're fighting, and I'm just like, ah. And then the cops come, and the cops, like, it was a lady cop on the scene first.
Obviously.
And she runs up with that big industrial pepper spray and goes like this. Police! After she sprayed everybody. So I'm just like, pepper spray. And then, like, I've been around enough cops that as soon as cops come, I'm just like, okay, I got it.
What did Robert Pattinson do?
The fucking vampire fought like 5 cops. And they're busting out sticks, and they're beating him with sticks in the legs and shit. And he's still fighting these cops. Eventually, they didn't shoot. They shot him with a taser, and they got him down. But we should find some PCP, I think.
Yeah, I'm down. Imagine the amount of weight I could lose if I took PCP.
I've never
run forever.
I've never hit anybody harder in my life.
Who taught you how to hit?
My mom.
Your mom taught you how to throw a punch?
Absolutely.
How?
My mom's a bad bitch.
But how did she teach you?
She's the first person to ever knock me out.
That was it? That was it?
Yeah.
Do you think that's the appropriate way to learn how to punch is to take a good punch?
You know, is the best way to teach your baby how to swim by throwing him in the deep end of a pool? I don't know. That's how I learned. I swim great now.
I mean,
I can fight pretty good, too.
I wouldn't know. None of my babies learned how to swim.
No, my mom, for like,
nailed it.
For you know what's funny, dude? No, for reals, for like years, I've always said my mom was the first person to knock me out. My mom's like, that's not true. She's like, I hit you in the chest. And I was like, no, Mom, you didn't hit me in the chest. You punched me straight in the face, and I fucking flew out, and you knocked me the fuck out. She's like, no way, I would never do that. I'm not even lying. This last Christmas, I was at home, and and I was like, we were playing like fucking gin rummy or some shit, and I go, no, that's not it. My mom doesn't remember shit. And she's like, oh, yeah, like that time I punched you in the chest. I was like, Mom, you fucking punched me in the face. And she goes, no, we were sitting at the dinner table, and you wouldn't leave your sister alone, so I hit you in the chest, and you flew off the chair. I was like, that happened, but that's not the time I'm talking about. I was 13, and I was already 6 feet tall, and I got in your face, and I told you I could do whatever I want. Nobody can talk to me like that. And my mom's like, oh, really? And you punched me in the face. I mean, telling my mom that. And she goes, oh, yeah, I do remember that. You went up in the air like pins over balls. Yeah, you're right. That did happen. I'm like, you've been denying that my whole fucking life. So she was like, I just didn't know the context.
Your mom really did say knock you out.
Hey-o.
Someone's loving my puns tonight.
At least
I don't know who that is, but they're fucking loving it. I'm up here just thinking of them. I'm knocking it down.
You're doing all right.
I broke my bike again this week.
Oh, you motherfucker. You're too fucking fat to be
if you guys don't listen to the podcast, I pretty much on a weekly basis break my bike. Once I broke a whole pedal off going over the Williamsburg Bridge. This week I untrued my wheel, which I didn't know was a thing. But it feels like when you drive your cheap car that the lug nuts are loose on. That's what it feels like. But I was doing that down to the Royal Palms and back to Bushwick, which is like a 5-mile ride. And then on the way back, I was like whiskey drunk. So I was doing this, and I was like, oh, man, I'm way drunker than I thought. And then I got home, and my wheel was like, it wouldn't roll anymore.
It wasn't. It was untrue.
It was untrue. It was not true to the situation. And the guy told me it was because I was fat.
It was like every girlfriend I had in my 20s.
Is that true?
Untrue.
You nailed it.
I'm trying to keep up with you with this stupid pun shit.
Those wobbly bitches.
I hate comedy.
Those wobbly bitches. Did you do anything else this week? I got really drunk at a work party.
No, that sounds like fun. No,
yeah.
I just worked, got drunk, comedy, worked, drunk, comedy. Same old shit.
Good.
Nothing too exciting.
I'd say we nailed it then.
Killing the game right now.
You ready to end this thing?
All right, so
let's do it. We're ending the podcast.
No, so here's this thing.
Oh.
The reason we even started this fucking podcast.
It's not the reason we started it.
27 weeks ago, whatever.
23 weeks ago.
23 weeks ago was that
this week will be 24.
24. That we're trying to get Graham. Graham had a goal of getting under 300 pounds by his 30th birthday, which is February 22nd.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Same as George Washington.
Same as George Washington. I didn't know that.
The leader of our country.
Yeah. And so I'm doing this in
Mount
a way to
Vernon's
support
savior.
him. And so every week we weigh him.
Here comes a general.
Oh, Jesus. Every week we weigh him.
It's just me singing Hamilton lyrics at this point.
And the person that gets closest to how much he weighs, I'm going to buy some shots, some drinks for.
Thank you for listening to the Bushwick Bear podcast, produced and recorded live every Tuesday at Lot 45 in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Enjoy yourself.